Now it's time for Inspirational Women, and we meet Olivia Nichols, a wellness enthusiast, part of a team of like-minded individuals at Food Influencer Central. Certainly, we need to keep wellness central to our thinking and actions all of the time, but August has been designated National Wellness Month to give us the opportunity to be very deliberately paying attention to this. Thus, Olivia Nichols joins us to discuss some foods and recipes that are simple and nutritious and products we use on our body, as well as some of the ways to be conscious of what we buy and how we prepare good foods. Olivia Nichols, good morning. Thank you so greatly for being with us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Well, I am very excited about this because wellness, I think, is pretty central in most of our lives, if not for every one of us that we think wellness is important. For you, would you say it's like really of the utmost importance? It's like your lifestyle?
Yeah, it's so important to nourish your body, not only on the inside, but on the outside as well. So that means, it runs the gamut from exercise to health to, eating better to taking care of your body. And that's what Wellness Month is all about, and really focusing on that self-care, stress management, and also, promoting those really healthy routines.
So, Olivia, for yourself, has this been just a focus all your life, or was there a time that there was a change, a shift, something that went on?
I feel like in different stages of life, you have different needs as far as wellness. So when you're talking about self-care, I think, when we're young children, we're getting a lot of help from our parents, and then we, grow up and, adult in the real world. And then you get to the point where you're back to focusing on self-care again, because, you might, have a family or a dog or a child, and somebody or some, thing, like in the case of an animal or something, that is taking from, your attention. So therefore you need to turn back on the self-care. So I feel like for each one of these aspects of wellness, the self-care, managing your stress, promoting healthy routines, it come in and out of your life. It's always great to have it there all the time, but realistically, things get in the way and you tend to put it aside. So National Wellness Month is really about that time, about focusing on, the self-care and managing stress and really promoting happiness. So like looking at yourself, trying new things, like maybe a new yoga pose, or trying a different spa treatment, or really just making a small change that can impact your health in positive ways, whether it be on the outside or the inside. A lot of folks find the easiest way to take care of themselves during Wellness Month, looking at the foods you eat. Look for better for you options. Look for things that, make sense. Nest Fresh Eggs, good example. They have a non-GMO Nest Fresh Egg. It was the first one created. They're also 100% cage-free. And those specialty eggs are so important. Yes, they're a little more expensive, but boy, is it worth it, because you get all of that goodness, and you're, kind of stepping away from some of the negativity that you can be putting in your body inside.
And on that subject of eggs and nutrition, you actually have a really tasty recipe you could share with us, right?
Yeah, that's right. So when it comes to Nest Fresh Eggs, we have a scramble from them that I really, really like. What it consists of is 2 teaspoons of extra virgin olive oil. You have 1 clove of garlic and 2 plum tomatoes. So those are going to be cored and sliced, about a cup each, or a cup together, I should say. Kosher salt, freshly ground pepper, and then 4 to 5 Nest Fresh eggs, 2 tablespoons freshly grated Parmesan cheese. It's so important. And 2 tablespoons torn fresh basil. I love basil. And then, of course, warm toast. You have to serve it with the warm toast. But it's really easy. A scramble is so easy, and it's a great way to get all of those vitamins. I mean, think about it. You got the tomatoes, you got the garlic, you've got the olive oil, you've got the Nest Fresh eggs and the cheese and the basil. And you put that together on a medium heat. Sprinkle with salt and pepper to taste, and then serve it with the toast. And you've got a really great, either brunch on Sunday or breakfast before you head out the door, even for dinner. Some people eat eggs for dinner. I know I've been guilty of that a few times as well, but really great recipe there. Another thing, great way to work, better for you food into your National Wellness Month plan. And yes, I said plan because everybody should come up with a plan, whether it's easy, whether it's difficult, in order to help take care of yourself. And another great recipe for that is a strawberry spinach smoothie. So you can get your fruits, your veggies all in one, easiest way, chock full of vitamins and minerals. And you can really kick it up a notch by using organic ingredients, like Newborn Organics. It's an almond milk. They also have a coconut milk. So really great option there. Would you want to hear that recipe?
Yes, please.
Okay, awesome. So the recipe actually calls for 3 ripe bananas, but one trick that I've learned is when your bananas start to go bad, you can make banana bread the old-fashioned way, or you can put them in a plastic bag and put them in the freezer, and then that way they're kind of already frozen for your smoothie. Really great way to get some good texture. So you have 3 ripe bananas. You have 2.5 cups frozen strawberries. There's your texture again. 1 cup chopped spinach, and then you have a can full of full-fat coconut milk, and then a cup of cold water, and then a cup of unsweetened newborn almond milk, and then some honey to taste. You can use honey, you can use stevia. You don't have to taste it. It's kind of like an optional ingredient if you don't want any sugar in it at all. As much as I'd like, to be super healthy, I do like my smoothies on the sweet side, so I use the honey. And then you put those ingredients into the bottom of the blender, and you blend for about 1 to 2 minutes and pour in a glass or a mason jar, and you're ready to go. So smoothie is a great thing to grab and run out the door, and you're getting, like I said, you're getting all those minerals, all those vitamins, really the best way to get your nutrition in a bottle, so to speak, rather than, buying a store-bought smoothie or protein shake. That's probably your best bet.
So, a question about this and using the frozen spinach. I've made smoothies using just fresh spinach. So, is there one better than the other, whether to use frozen or fresh?
Yeah. So, honestly, it depends on, your lifestyle and what you need to do. If you have time to pull out all the fresh ingredients, you can. I mentioned freezing the bananas because sometimes that's just easier. And with chopped spinach, you're going to get a little bit more water content, and you're also going to get that speed, and you're going to get that texture as far as kind of the frozen, slushy type texture. So it's really in all of your preference. I'm kind of picky about my frozen spinach, though. I want it to be kind of, a good brand and something that tastes good, and that's going to, give me all the nutrients that I need. But the cool thing about freezing is actually a natural preservative. So when you freeze something, or if you buy frozen spinach, you are buying it at the peak of that spinach's time, and then it was frozen at that time. So you don't lose any of the vitamins, you don't lose any of the minerals. All of that is being flash frozen, basically, frozen in time. And then you're reaping all those benefits. So frozen is like the next best thing to fresh. So you can try fresh to start and see how it goes. And if you're just not getting to it fast enough and it's going bad, then try the frozen and see if it works for you.
Oh, that's a good thing. Freeze it yourself. That's a great way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can appreciate having the spinach in the smoothies tends to give it somehow, it's not bitter, but it tends toward bitter. So that's where probably the honey helps to give it just that little bit of sweetness that takes away the bitterness.
Yeah,
right?
It really does. And that's why it's kind of an optional ingredient. And don't let the bananas and the strawberries fool you. That spinach is going to turn it green. So even though your smoothie is a green color or maybe a brown because of the combination, it's going to be delicious.
That's right. I've had it be brown and maybe it doesn't look so great. Well, I guess maybe our brain can just say, oh, it looks like chocolate milk. And then it tastes like
there you go.
Right?
It's a chocolate smoothie. That's right.
Yeah, that's the way to think of it. However, it works to get those nutritional elements inside our bodies. And kids, I think, really like smoothies, don't they?
Oh, yeah. This is a way that you can get some of those fruits and veggies with your kids. Kids have a hard time eating their fruits and veggies, and this smoothie You add the honey in it, or maybe you do add a little bit of stevia, and they're gonna love it. So giving them an option of something to eat that feels like maybe ice cream in their mind, but is actually chock full of vitamins and minerals is a great way to do it.
And the other advantage of smoothies, I feel, is that's a way to get a lot of vegetables and fruits into our bodies, whereas eating them individually is different. It feels like it's maybe too much food. I can't eat all that.
Yeah, it really does. And the cool thing is you can make a batch of smoothies and share with your family. So that way, because if you think about it, you're like, oh, this recipe that I gave you has 3 ripe bananas, 2.5 cup frozen strawberries. That's going to feed way more than just you.
That's right. Yes. So a great way to start the day with a smoothie. Or with that omelet. I want to just take a step back to asking about
Yes.
the ingredients there and thinking about the garlic, because I love the flavor of garlic. What's your impression of using fresh garlic, the clove, versus the chopped garlic that you buy in the bottle or the squeezy bottle?
So, I'm not the biggest chef in the world, so I do tend to buy the squeezy one. That's just, that's my easy way when I'm making quick meals and quick recipes. Like I like it now, but gosh, when somebody like roasts the garlic, it tastes so good. And garlic in general, I mean, it has so many health benefits. Perfect for Wellness Month. It helps with your body's immune system and reduces high blood pressure and cholesterol. It also helps with the prevention of cancer. Has antibiotic properties, which I think is kind of interesting, and then can really improve athletic performance. So it's got a lot of benefits, garlic in itself. I always feel like that raw form is going to give you the most benefit. So the way that I'm doing it probably isn't the best. I could probably get more out of my health and wellness if I were to use garlic cloves versus, the squeezed garlic. So, but, better that than dried. So it's kind of the in between.
Right. And maybe that's the thing is knowing that we have an option of either. And if we find we have a little extra time on a day that we're at home, maybe we would be chopping up some garlic. We can even store it away in a container in the fridge and have the fresh garlic when we need it.
That's right. I mean, that would be ideal. Or in some cases, I'm not sure if you can do this with garlic, but I've heard of people in ice cube trays putting different herbs together, maybe with some olive oil and some basil in like, an ice cube tray. So I wonder if you could do that with garlic. I'm going to look that up after this.
So
I'm going to look it up.
okay, but how do you mean you're putting olive oil and herbs into a freezer tray? Do you then an ice cube tray rather, then you freeze that?
Yeah. So what people have done, and I think it was maybe interest that I saw this was that in their ice cube trays, they put a combination of fresh herbs, things like dill and rosemary, or basil, as we had talked about, and you can put it in like an ice cube tray for use later. So you freeze it. You could try chives. I'm not sure if I said oregano, but that's an option as well. And so the best thing, it works better if you have a garden of your own. So if you have an herb garden and you've got to harvest it and you can't use it all at once, so then what you do is you chop it up and you put it in each of the ice cube trays. Some people use, a plastic bag. You can do it that way if you want to kind of like a bigger batch. But what you do is you put those herbs right in, you put a little bit of olive oil in it, and then you freeze it. And you take out, 1 cube at a time. So if I were to be making, say, an Italian dish and I really would like basil for that dish, then I could take one of those out and put it in my frying pan and get started.
What I've never heard this before. So that's a wonderful tip as to how to have your create your own fresh herbs by having them in these freezer trays and ice cube trays.
Yeah, and it actually works better once it's frozen, so you can take all of them out. So I can't remember how many my freezer tray has. So depends on the shape of them, if it's, like 6 or if it's 12. But after you freeze it for 3 or 4 hours, you just remove the cubes from the tray and put in a Ziploc bag. And then you label the bag. So if you're doing like basil all in one bag, you can freeze that up to 3 months and you can just pull those out one at a time. Maybe you're doing, cilantro for some of your Mexican dishes, you could do that as well. So it's just a different way of making sure that your fresh herbs go a long way.
Yes, absolutely. And as you said, if you have your own herb garden, and many of us do, and we can even keep them in a sunny room during the winter months. But
For a little
failing,
while, yeah.
right? Yeah, but failing that, and they go through their own lull by having this frozen. We always have our own fresh herbs right at our disposal.
Yeah, they can be used for soups. They can be used for, Italian dishes, like I said, depending on what you have. You could you could take the chives and fry them up a little bit and put them on your baked potato. There's so many things you could do with it.
Yeah.
In our scramble, you could put it in our scramble if you'd like.
Well, sure. I could see how you might begin your scramble in that way by having bringing that out of the freezer and putting it in the fry pan. That's
the best way. So that's what I've heard. So
well, that is great. Gives us some idea on something new to try in terms of our own self-care and wellness. So this is some of the internal stuff, the foods. What about looking at our body and what we can do in terms of taking care of our skin?
Yeah. So when it comes to the outside, because you want to, for Wellness Month, you want to take care of yourself inside and out. And self-care can be taken to the next level with a little bit of TLC. So Olive offers a variety of really sophisticated skin care formulas. So it includes face, body, bath, and even baby for your baby. Natural massage oils, that include botanical oils. Then you have relaxing bubble bath. That's so important. I love to take a really good bath. And then moisturizing day cream. So keeping your skin hydrated, with a natural formula. The great thing about Olive, they're innovative skincare. They've been around for 20 years, and it comes right out of New Zealand. Certified natural, certified zero carbon in New Zealand, which actually means that they're best for skin and best for planet. So it's a really great option if you do want to pamper yourself and help manage stress and, have that self-care and promote healthy routines like a bubble bath every night or maybe, massage oil, like I said, relaxing your mind and body. That's a really great idea too.
And I was curious about it being called olive, so I was thinking olive oil. Well, it's not olive oil, but it has olives as an ingredient because of its location in New Zealand, correct?
That's right. So, the laboratory was built on an olive estate. If you go to olivenaturalskincare.com, you can see pictures of the state itself, so you can see where the product comes from. It's natural, it's safe, it's perfect for the whole family. Really just a great option if you're one of those people that's trying to stay away from animal testing or GMOs. There's no synthetic colors or fragrances. So it's a really great option for that. And, they're found actually at CVS and Rite Aid. So they're really easy to access and get. You don't have to, you can order online, but you can go to those stores as well.
Which is great. And because, well, I think in a way it's more cost effective. Sometimes these days I find with ordering by mail, the shipping costs can really be quite high.
It's so true. And you know what? You want to head to the website because I just remembered they have some new packaging out, and it's really cool. It's very vibrant. It's got an awesome look to it, and it definitely makes you feel like you're pampering yourself. So it's a good option.
Great. So that's good. And we mentioned the other foods that we talked about are available at many of our local food markets.
That's right. So Nest Fresh eggs, about the scramble, are at Hagen's and Albertsons. And you can find New Barn Organics almond milk at West Seattle Thrift Way.
which is great too. So this is really a passion of yours, wellness and looking at good foods and helping people as well. So you are on Instagram.
Oh, yes, I am.
Oh, there's a little hesitation there. What is that?
Well, you know what? I'm on Instagram. It's at Foodie Influencer Central. We primarily look at food, and it's not just me. It's a group of us. So you're going to find a couple of us. And I laugh because I don't necessarily like talking about myself, but I love talking about fitness, wellness, and food.
But this is a way for us to be in touch and find out more up to date or new information.
You've got it. Always, always. So Instagram, Foodie Influencer Central.
Which is great. So that's wonderful. So in wrapping up, any other ideas that come to mind, Olivia, in terms of health and wellness?
Well, I mean, honestly, it's about a few simple ways that you can take care of yourself. So make it a priority today to get a good walk in. If you walk every day, it can do wonders for your mind and body and your mind. Right? Walking, who knew? And then cook a healthy meal with quality ingredients. So avoiding those GMOs, eating food that really tastes good and it's really good for you. And then, of course, treating your skin, as we mentioned about Olive. We only get one skin, and we got to take really good care of it.
Yes, exactly. And when we were talking about Olive, the fact that there are baby products as well. So this is really for the whole family and starting with baby, getting the baby's skin to have all that good nutrition and focus from that infancy stage.
Yeah, it's amazing stuff. And, Olive has these really cute little characters that are on their packaging for the babies. So you'll have to check it out at olivenaturalskincare.com. For the other two, if you want to check out Nest Fresh, it's nestfresh.com and newbornorganics.com.
That is so great. So starting with a little bit of activity, some motion. You mentioned walking is a good one. That doesn't really cost us anything in terms of having to get a membership or, necessarily any kind of special clothing and outfits. We can just do it very easily.
That's right. Just get out there and do it. It's all about making it a habit, right? So part of Wellness Month is promoting healthy routines, and making routines and habits just take time. The more you do it, the more it becomes a habit, and then you just put on your sneakers and go every time.
And walking, because it is so simple, I was thinking of how, and I've known this, but once I got a Fitbit, I found that it's almost addictive in a way. It's really great to, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be a Fitbit. But one way to be really monitoring our steps, I think, is a way to really support us and encourage us and give us goals that we can really see where we're at.
Yeah, I think that makes a difference. I have an Apple Watch, and it's the same thing. You're tracking your steps, and you're trying to beat it next time. And you try different exercises to, can I get more on the bike? Can I get more walking? Can I get more on the elliptical? Where can I get more calories burned? So it's always a game.
It is a game, and I think, we kind of like the concept of games. So maybe that's one way to really motivate ourselves or get ourselves on a good track if we're not doing that. But our experience has shown you and me how monitoring it really is something that encourages us and moves us forward.
That's right. Not just monitoring exercise, but monitoring what you eat. I mean, any dietitian will tell you the best way to try to come up with a weight loss plan or a goal or a fitness goal is to track everything that you're doing. How many glasses of water am I drinking? How much water am I eating and what time? And, what exercise am I getting? And tracking that and setting a diary of sorts or journal, I guess you would say, is a great way to do that so that you can keep track of your progress and you can be encouraged.
Right. Yes. And then maybe in wrapping it up, you mentioned, monitoring our water, that not just fluids, but water itself is a really important ingredient in terms of wellness.
It's very important. So in addition to, watching what you eat and living a better for you lifestyle and taking care of your body with, skincare, like you said, water is so important. Here at the office, we have water challenges. Who can get to 75 ounces faster? Giving yourself that goal, making it fun, and just like you said, water and coffee not equal. It's not just about fluids. It's about getting the right fluids, and the right fluid is water when you want to be your healthiest.
Right. And the other drinks are good. They're fine. I like to have my coffee every day. But as someone once mentioned to me, you wouldn't take a bath in orange juice. So do you want to just think that orange juice is going to really cleanse your insides? I don't know if that really computes, but
you say that, the coffee doesn't work either.
No,
Darn.
Or any of the other drinks, right? It's water that is key.
I agree. Yeah, it's key.
It's key. Well, this has been wonderful. I really appreciate having the opportunity to cover some good, healthy wellness ground and tips with you, Olivia. You are a great inspirer of us to do this, and thank you so greatly for sharing all the recipes and good insights.
You bet. It was a good time. So definitely head to those websites because nestfresh.com has more recipes as well as newbarnorganics.com. And then that way you can find one maybe you like if you don't like the scramble.
Right. And maybe put your own innovative touch on it.
That's it. I do that with every one of them. Probably shouldn't, but I do.
Oh, no. I mean, that's what makes it kind of interesting and experimenting with foods to, just have fun.
Yeah, no, it's important to have fun with whatever you're doing.
Well, this itself has been fun to have this conversation and to really get some good ideas and focus on our wellness, because wellness isn't just this month. Wellness is about getting started on it and making it a habit to last throughout the entire year.
That's so true. And make it a habit before you have to come to New Year's and then, start over again.
That's right. And then it'll be something to enhance it, boost it up another level.
Yeah, hopefully you'll be ahead. Yeah, then you'll be ahead.
Yes, exactly. Well, see, there's where the enthusiast comes in. You are very enthusiastic about this.
So true.
Yes.
So true.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with us this morning, Olivia Nichols. It's been great fun. And I think we're heading off to a really great day.
It is going to be a great day. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
You're so welcome. That brings us to the end of a very full hour of Inspirational Women with Olivia Nichols and Sunday Morning Magazine with Dr. David Bissonnette. I'm Kate Daniels, your host, and I greatly appreciate your sharing this hour with me and these special guests. For details you might have missed or information you'd like to know, please just send me an email, kated@warm1069.com, and I will get right back to you. Also, if you'd like to listen again or share these important stories with your family and friends, find the podcast on our Warm 1069 webpage. Just click on the podcast tab, then either of the show names, and then look for the guest names. I now wish you and your family a day of very consciously considering our food and beverage intake, and keep it simple and natural. Have a week of the same, and then please plan to join me again next weekend for another hour of Sunday Morning Magazine and Inspirational Women on Warm 1069. Good morning.